Good evening, everyone. A little late tonight, but this is Rob from RJL Network, welcoming you to another exciting edition of Marvel Champions, the card game. Tonight, we're going to continue the campaign of the Rise of Red Skull. Spider-Man continues to stay the course. He has not lost yet. He has this starter deck. He has done very well with the starter deck so far. We have not lost a battle at yet in our Marvel Champions campaign. Captain Marvel still waits in the wings, but Spider-Man is doing the job. So if he continues doing the job here against all these villains, who knows how long it'll be till we get another hero on the table. This is scenario number 3 of the Rise of Red Skull. This is Taskmaster with Absorbing Man in shield custody and Madam Hydra in the wind. You are flying back to Avengers Tower to plan your next move when all reality is changed in a flash of yellow light. When you reach New York City, you are shocked to find Avengers Tower emblazoned with the Hydra banner. But before you can process what has happened, an explosion rocks your Quinjet and you crash land in the city. On the ground, you find that all of New York is under Hydra rule. Anti-hero propaganda is plastered on every corner, and squads of Hydra soldiers patrol the streets. They are led by the notorious Taskmaster, Hydra's new chief of police. He is going door to door, hunting down heroes and locking them up. He fired the surface-to-air missile that brought you down, and now he is searching for you. So now we go ahead and see what this scenario has for Taskmaster. And Taskmaster, we are using his standards, so 1 and 2. Taskmaster begins stage 1 after a player force response after a player changes the hero form. They discard the top card of the encounter deck and take damage equal to the number of boost icons on that card. We are using the scenario Hunting Down Heroes. Set each captive ally aside out of play. Search the encounter deck for Hydra Patrol and put it into play. Shuffle the encounter deck. So we have 4 heroes here for this scenario, which can become part of our deck in the campaign, in the Rise of Red Skull campaign. We put them to the side. And so now what we do is we go ahead and search for Hydra Patrol. So we will add another one here. So we search for Hydra Patrol. And we find it right here. So here is Hydra Patrol. Hydra soldiers perform routine patrols to maintain control of their territory. Taskmaster starts with 13 hit points in stage 1. Hydra Patrol will begin with 2 threat on it. And it has a crisis icon on it, so we must defeat the Hydra Patrol side scheme before we can go to the main scheme. So, we use the Taskmaster set, Hydra Patrol set. The Weapon Master module is also used in this, as well as the standard set. So we go ahead and see what we got. So we use Hunting Down Heroes. We'll now flip over. And the threshold of threat is 12. The notorious Taskmaster has been appointed Hydra's chief of police. His top priority is hunting down the outlaw heroes. Forced response. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, each player in hero form must choose to either place 1 threat here or take 1 damage. So he can be nasty. And I actually tested him with Captain Marvel just because I wanted to play somebody different. And she had a hard time, but we managed to win. But let's see if Spider-Man can do the same thing. So let us begin our battle against the notorious Taskmaster. We will go ahead and shuffle. Draw 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let's see what we get. Interrogation Room, Energy, Tenacity, Web Shooter, Aunt May, and Swinging Web Kick. Let's see. I will get rid of Tenacity. And I don't know how minions we're going to get, but an Interrogation Room could be useful, but I'm going to dump that. I'll keep Energy. I'll keep the Web Shooter, Aunt May. So we'll get rid of these. move these all to the side so we have as much room as possible. Much room as possible here so you can see on the deck. So we'll keep these 4. Draw 2 more. And Great Responsibility and Jessica Jones. So pretty good starts there so far. As we get an ally, which is always good to have to start the game off. Okay. So we got to take out Taskmaster. Peter Parker, he generates a resource. And the good thing about that is he generates a resource, which means we get Aunt May for free, pretty much. Peter Parker, so he gets Aunt May for free. Peter Parker will flip. And of course, remember, when the hero flips over, after a player changes the hero form, they discard the top card of the encounter deck and take damage equal to the number of boost icons on that card. And there's none there, so nothing happens. So Spider-Man is out there. And we are going to play, let's see. We're going to play Great Responsibility to put out the web shooter. And that gets 3 resource tokens there. And then we're going to play Energy. We're going to then exhaust it, play 1 token. Play Energy for 2 to put out Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones gets +1 thwart for each side scheme in play. We'll keep the swinging web kick. So let's see. So Spider-Man, and say hunting down heroes, of course, started with 1 threat on it, by the way. Starts with 1 threat. So let's see. So Spider-Man, so Jessica Jones gets +1 thwart for each side scheme in play. This is a side scheme, so she actually will have +2 thwart. She'll have a 2 thwart, so she will thwart for 2, getting rid of Hydra Patrol. And when defeated, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion and puts it into play. Engage with them. Shuffle the encounter deck. So just like that, we are able to take care of that side scheme. But we got to find a minion here from Hydra Patrol, and we're just going to put out a Hydra regular. And he has Insight 1, but this only works when he's revealed, not put into play. And we will reshuffle the deck here. So put out the Hydra regular. Spider-Man is going to attack for 2 and take care of him out. So we start off pretty good. We're going to keep the swinging web kick, and we will end our turn. We draw 4 cards. Getting Great Responsibility, Genius, Surveillance Team, and Interrogation Room. Okay. Taskmaster gets to attack. He attacks so we put a threat on the scheme. And after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, each player in hero form must choose to either place 1 threat here or take a damage. I will just take a damage. Not want to put threat down so quick. Taskmaster attacks for 2. +2 is 4. We're going to take it. So, and of course he gets a card, getting the Power of Justice from the attack. So already Spider-Man is down to 5. Remember the rules? If we get defeated twice in his first stage, Spider-Man is done. If we get defeated once in the second stage, he is done. And we move on to a new hero. We now get an encounter card, and it is Exosuit. We're still using the experimental weapons that made it through the first scenario. So now Taskmaster now gets the Exosuit, which is pretty nasty. And we can spend a energy, mental, or physical resource to discard this card. But now Taskmaster will hit us with 3 attack and scheme for 2. Okay. So it is our turn next. And let's see what we're going to do here. Jessica Jones. What are we going to do with Jessica here? Well, we're going to play the power of justice to put down the surveillance team. Uses 3 Snoop counters. And we will exhaust it to remove a threat. And Jessica Jones is going to thwart for 1, remove a threat. And let's see what we want to do here. Web shooter is going to, we're going to use a web shooter here. And we're going to play Genius. Actually, no, we're going to play Great Responsibility and Interrogation Room. And we're going to perform a swinging web kick. Deal 8 damage to an enemy. So Taskmaster goes from 13 all the way down to 5. Spider-Man will attack for 2, bringing him down to 3. Since I still have Jessica Jones in play, I can still use her to defend. We are going to keep Genius, and we're going to end our turn. And we're going to get 4 cards. We get for Justice, Web Shooter, Strength, and the Helicarrier. So we'll probably be flipping over on the next turn. So we put a threat here, and we're going to go ahead. We're going to place another threat there. So we'll put 2 threat. If Spider-Man is down to 5, so we're not going to do it there. We're not going to take the damage this time. Taskmaster will attack. 2 + 1 is 3. +1 is 4. Jessica Jones, of course, will defend. And so she is gone. She is gone. We get an encounter card, and it is Assault. When revealed, the villain attacks you. Oh, that's not good. All right, so the villain attacks us. We can't stop it. Spider-Man is going to defend. So Spider-Man will defend here. So it's 2 + 1 is 3. +1 is 4. So Spider-Man actually does take 1 damage. He does get 2 cards, by the way, for the first attack, which is for recognition, and the second attack, swinging web kick. Not too bad. But he decided to defend, and we took it. And that will take care of Taskmaster's turn. Taskmaster is already down to 3 damage points. So is already down to 3 hit points. Spider-Man, we do have an ability to knock him out, but let's see what we're going to do here. Let's see. Surveillance team is going to exhaust. Remove a threat. Web shooter is going to exhaust. We're going to exhaust the web shooter. Putting out another web shooter. That web shooter will exhaust. And we're going to play Strength, which will put out the Helicarrier. Put out the Helicarrier. The Helicarrier reduces a resource cost of a card by 2. So we'll exhaust that. And we'll use Heroic Intuition. And we're going to use Genius instead. Add Genius. And to play do I want to use a swinging web kick here now? You know what? No, I do not. I'm thinking maybe I don't want to do that. Let's reduce it down to 1. And I'm going to go ahead and play Heroic Intuition, which will give him a +1 thwart. We're going to keep Genius on the swinging web kick. Spider-Man will flip. Aunt May heals. Gets him back to 8. And that is going to end our turns. That's going to allow Taskmaster to scheme, but that is okay for now. I didn't really want to use a swinging web kick when he's already down to 3 points of damage. It's going to be a waste. So we'll end our turn this way here. And we draw 4 cards. 2, 3, 4. Getting Spider Tracer, Nick Fury, Haymaker, and Emergency. That's not too bad. More light in my room here. Okay. So we end the turn. It is now Taskmaster's turn. Puts a threat there on the scheme. And we're going to take a damage. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, each player in hero form must... Actually, he's not in hero form. So he actually doesn't have to take a damage here. Must choose to either place one threat here or take a damage. He is not in hero form, so nothing. I'm going to assume nothing happens here. So Taskmaster will scheme. So he goes 1 + 1 is 2. A 0 here, so he gets his only 2 threat go on the scheme, which is pretty good. So that's 4 threat there. And we get an encounter card, and it is Eviction Notice. Ugh. Give to the Peter Parker player. You may flip to alter ego form. Choose one. Exhaust Peter Parker. Remove Eviction Notice from the game. The good news is he's already in Peter Parker mode, which is fine. So we will exhaust him and remove that from the game. Okay. It is our turn. It is our turn. So what we're going to do here. Peter Parker generates a resource. So we want to do here. Surveillance team will exhaust. And that will remove 1 threat. Aunt May will heal. Get him back to 10. Peter Parker will flip over. He gets a chance at shooting him, and he does 2 points of damage. So back to 80 goes. Taskmaster can be nasty. Let's see what we're going to do here. Web Shooter is going to exhaust for one. And we're going to exhaust the Helicarrier. And we're going to go ahead and play Haymaker attack. Deal 3 damage to an enemy. So what that does is that will bring Taskmaster down to 0. So he is already out of stage 1. So we now advance Taskmaster to stage 2. Remember now Spider-Man loses in this stage. He is out. When revealed, deal each player an encounter card. So we get an extra encounter card here for Spider-Man. Okay. And Taskmaster is up to 16 hit points. Now let's see what we want to do here. We got much choices. Well, we're going to do some damage here. The threat level right now is only 3. I'm not really concerned about that at the moment. We're going to play Genius, Emergency, and the Spider Tracer. And we will put out Nick Fury. I'm going to have Nick Fury do 4 damage to an enemy. 1, 2, 3, 4, which will bring him down to 12. He will attack for 2 and bring Taskmaster down to 10. And I have Nick Fury to help me out in case there's any problems for allies or such. We will keep the swinging web kick. And pretty much if there's no guard or anything like that, we can finish Taskmaster off pretty quickly here. And so Taskmaster is already down to 10 in stage 2. And that's going to end our turn. And we're going to ready our cards. And we get 4. Surveillance team, Spider Tracer, backflip, and first aid. Backflip is great to have. Okay. So, does Taskmaster last this round? We'll find out. Taskmaster gets a threat. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to take it and says either, as I said, each player in hero form must choose either place 1 threat here or take a damage. I'm going to let Spider-Man take the damage, go to 7. Gets a threat. Taskmaster will attack. Nick Fury will defend. He will attack 4. And he attacks. We get a card. Enhanced Spider Sense, which is even better. Taskmaster 2 + 3 + 1 is 4. And that will take Nick Fury out of there. But now we have to deal with 2 encounter cards. So we have 2 encounter cards. First encounter card is Captured by Hydra. Okay. Captured by Hydra. When revealed, place one random set-aside captive ally face down beneath the scheme. When the scheme is defeated, the player who defeated it takes that ally into their hand and removes it from the game. So we have 4 allies here randomly chosen. We'll put together here. And 5. Well, we roll that. 3. We'll take this one. And this goes there. And that gets 5 thread on it. So that's the first one. Now we got to see what the second one is. The second one is Shadow of the Past. Oh, but Shadow of the Past. However, we will exhaust our web shooter, taking that out. And we will play Enhanced Spider Sense. When a Treachery card is revealed from the encounter deck, cancel its when revealed effects. So Shadow of the Past does not come out. And this game is pretty much over. It is over. This battle is over. Very quick this went, actually. This game is already over. I could go ahead and try to take out the scheme and maybe get a hero, but in this case, you got to go ahead and knock out Taskmaster. So, thankfully, we got the enhanced Spider Sense, which really came out terrific on that turn. So, Spider-Man is going to finish, pretty much, he finishes off Taskmaster here. So, Spider-Man, it is his turn, and he is going to attack for 2, bring Taskmaster down to 8, and then we will play Spider Tracer, Backflip, and First Aid to once again play the dreaded Swinging Web Kick, which deals 8 damage to an enemy. And just like that, Taskmaster is down. Another victory for your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man as Taskmaster falls. Now that was a quick game, and you can have quick games in Marvel Champions depending how the cards go. So there was nothing here. Taskmaster had nothing for Spider-Man in this one. We got some pretty good cards. We got Aunt May early. We got the Helicarrier early. Really, there weren't any minions we had to worry about. Taskmaster didn't get many of his weapons out, so it was really good. So, did pretty good here, and we went ahead and beat Taskmaster pretty well. So, we read the next one, and it says, "What's going on, Taskmaster? How did Hydra conquer New York City? It's not just New York, babe. Hydra rules all of America now. Madam Hydra brought Zola the Reality Stone. Then the Doctor used its power to put Hydra in charge. Where is Zola now? He set up shop on Ellis Island. Rumor has it he's doing weird experiments there, trying to develop the perfect soldiers for Hydra. I've heard enough. Let's go get him." So it looks like our next target is going to be scenario number 4, and that is Zola. He is not easy. Zola is difficult in this campaign. He is not easy. And so we got to deal with Zola in our next battle here with Spider-Man as he continues to mow his way through villains with this starter deck. This is the straight starter deck we have not lost yet with Spider-Man against any of the villains. So again, Captain Marvel will now go. Captain Marvel decides to change back into Carol Danvers, and she's going to go meet with someone and just have a Netflix and chill for a while. Meanwhile, Spider-Man is just having too much fun. So a very quick battle here tonight. Only about 24 minutes this lasted here for Marvel Champions. So nobody in the chat in this one, but that is okay. For those of you who watch us on a replay, thank you for watching. Please check out ID Jester and Dale the Casual Gamer. They are 2 of the best that do this. Dale, of course, is one of the reasons is I follow his lead and how he pretty much wins. So he does a very, very good job. So, and actually subscribe to his channel as well. Well, there was nobody in the chat, so for everybody there, for anyone who watches the chat, thank you very much for joining me. Please leave a like on your way out of the movie theater. Subscribe if you've not done so, and make sure you hit the bell. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart, stay strong, and we'll see you next time for some Marvel Champions. Spider-Man defeats Taskmaster. Moving on to scenario 4 in The Rise of Red Skull. We'll see you next time.